If you are a student of English and you have this way of repeating the grammar points, the boring vocabulary lessons, if you change course books and maybe even change teachers and you cannot achieve fluency, you cannot get to the point where you talk to people and you speak English naturally, the problem is for sure in the way of your teaching, in the way of your learning. The way that we are going to talk today, after I explain this method that is scientifically proven, is going to change your mind about the intermediate level and about learning English as a whole. The method we are talking today is the method 15, 30, 15. If you are not familiar with this, watch out and take notes because this can really change the way you learn the language. One of the big problems with many adult students of English as a second language is believing that they don't have time to study. They say and they justify to themselves that they haven't achieved advanced level, they haven't passed through the intermediate level because they don't have time. But the system and the method we are talking today is not about time, it's about consistency. The 15-30-15 method involves three small periods of time, small fractions of time of your day in order to have the consistency to do this and have contact with English every day of your life until you achieve fluency. The first step of your 15-30-15 plan is going to be to separate 15 minutes in the morning before you start studying, before you start working, to focus on English. During the morning, our brain is fresh, the day is still quiet, people are not in a rush yet, and you have the clearance, you have the spirit, you have the peace to start studying English for only 15 minutes. What are you going to do then? You are going to have the first contact with something new. It could be a grammar point you have some questions about. It could be a list of vocabulary. It could be a video, a short video, a short text, something in English that you really want to learn. Maybe something about your work, maybe a video here in the channel, something you are opening yourself up to. The point here is really not about making corrections in your mistakes. If you make mistakes, they are actually very welcome and they are going to open doors for the next steps of your learning process of your day. So in these 15 minutes, you have the first contact, maybe make some lists, maybe make some notes, but don't worry about making mistakes and don't worry about your questions. If you didn't understand 100% of the new point you are being exposed to, it's really no problem. The second part of this method is the 30-minute break, the 30 minutes window you are getting during lunch. If you have an hour of lunch, you eat for 30 minutes, and the other 30 minutes you are going to dedicate for consolidation. And most importantly, you are going to focus on practice. You are going to get all the points, you are going to get everything you had contact early in the morning, and you are going to practice. You are going to consolidate, you are going to exercise. If it's a grammar point, maybe you want to do some gap filling exercises, practicing that. Maybe you want to look for your favorite AI tool to ask for further explanations. Maybe you want to certify that you understood that vocabulary list and maybe write down other examples of those, I don't know, 10 phrasal verbs you had contact in the morning. This is a moment to make sure you get everything squared out. Make sure that you understand everything you have been exposed in the morning. This is a moment where mistakes are going to be corrected. You have more time, you have 30 minutes, and it's a moment when the practice is going to make perfect. And last but not least, at the end of the day, before you go to bed, so stop scrolling, stop being online, turn off your phone, turn off the TV, turn off your computer, and then you get this final 15 minutes for, how can I say, evaluation. You are going to evaluate, you are going to review and make sure you understood everything. So, since early in the morning, the first 15 minutes, what were your corrections during lunch? What were other examples? It is scientifically proven that before we go to bed, it's the perfect time to review the things you have done in the day. It's the time that we take more into considerations the review of the things we have done, that we can absorb more before we go to sleep. So it's the perfect time to dedicate 15 more minutes for this consolidation and final review. It is when, especially when you take into account your progress. Even if it has been one sentence that you understood, one new word that you were able to memorize, this is the moment when the reward comes. If you reward yourself and understand your victories, although they could have been very small or very limited during the day, on the next day, you give yourself energy to start everything again. It's short periods of time spread out during the day. I am sure it's totally feasible for you to do it. If by any chance you can't start in the morning with the 15 minutes, or you don't have time at lunch for the 30 minutes, or you fall asleep on social media before the last session, don't worry. It's not a reason to give up. Make sure the next day shows you the consistency that you need and you start all over again. Always exposing, practicing, consolidating. This is a sure way to give you physical and actual practice and to give you the consistency that you need to go from intermediate level to advanced in no time. Make sure you share your opinion about this method and about this technology for you to input on your day. I can bring you other videos here on the channel talking about specific moments of the day to study English. I hope it was helpful. See you later and bye.